Okay, quick mic check before we start. Hello. Right. Make sure everything's set up properly on stream. Just be a second. Okay, we're all good. Right. Turn my TV on. Come on. Voice cards. Feels like it's been a while since I've played this. So let's just roll straight into it. So we left off having done the first real chapter. Met the Crimson Maiden. And then saw her sacrifice herself. And now we're going to go meet the Crimson Maiden. Make sure that's... Okay, cool. So just making sure the stream's okay first before I actually do anything. Seems like it is. Okay. Alright, let's just roll straight into it then. Yes.
Very well then. Prepare to go ashore.
I'm ready. Let's do this.
The West Isle's parched, russet-colored expanse greets you. The bones of weaker travelers strewn about it, as both welcome and warning. You dock your ship at the pier and set foot ashore. Laddie takes a deep bow in the direction of the bon-bon, as if thanking it for safely delivering everyone to land. You consult your navigation map once more to confirm your location, and resolve to head through the gorge toward Hero's Dominion.
Okay. Right, so how big is this island? Because the Azure one wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be, and it looks like this one's not that much bigger either. Yeah, it's pretty small. Okay. I guess because the entire chapter doesn't just take place on the island.
The well-to-do looking old man who
Here we go.
a game of dice appears before you once more. I won't let you slide by with half-baked luck, says the old man, challenging you to a wager.
Okay, we've won 2 out of 2 of these, so let's see. Hell yes, old man.
Decide to tempt fortune. The rules are the same as last time. If you can roll the designated pips or higher, you win the prize at no cost. Likewise, if you roll lower, you'll have to buy the prize at more than its intended value.
Of course.
Now then, let's begin. Today's prize is... The old man pulls something from his bag.
Ooh. That looks cool. 16 grand. What the fuck? How much money do we have? I can't remember. I kind of want to try it.
You take a die from the old man and give it a squeeze. It's do or die.
What happens if you don't have enough and you lose? Oh, that's not good. Shit.
Alas, fortune doesn't.
Oh, we're about to find out.
As you move to pay the old man, you realize you haven't enough to cover the entire cost. You show him the inside of your purse and beg his forgiveness. Taking pity on you, the old man yields a consolation prize in exchange for the remainder of your purse.
You know what? Fuck it, let's just cheat. We didn't lose. That never happened. Right, so we're gonna go start the second chapter. Meet the Crimson Maiden.
Very well then. Prepare to go ashore. The West Isle's parched,
Yeah, we know.
colored
We know.
expanse greets you.
Yes.
The bones of weaker travelers strewn about it. As you dock your ship at the pier and set foot
Yep,
ashore.
she bows to the ship.
Consult your navigation map
Cool.
once more to
Let's go.
confirm your location, and resolve to head through the gorge toward Hero's Dominion.
Vent. Sweet fragrance wafts over you. Oh, we've done this one before. Nah, it's not worth it.
Nothing. You take your leave.
Like the health recovery you get from it's really not worth it.
Laddie appears to have found something on the roadside. You look where she is pointing and spot a small drawstring pouch lying on the ground. Inside the pouch is a simple but beautiful necklace. Laddie's eyes light up at the sight of it.
Cool. Sure. Let's let her wear it.
Place the necklace around Laddie's neck.
Simple but beautiful necklace worn by Laddie.
Though she initially looks confused, when you say it looks nice on you, her cheeks flush slightly and she smiles.
Okay, that's going to be tied into some kind of side quest. That's not going to be like the only part of that event. There'll be like some follow-up thing in a bit. Okay, new guys. Were you weak to wind? Yeah. Okay, so we've not seen these guys before, so... What do I think? Lightning or ice? Let's try ice. And I was correct. Okay.
A thief appears.
Ah.
The brigand points at Laddie's simple necklace and yells, "Give that back." He continues, insisting in a rather courteous tone. That necklace was something I stole from an accessory shop in Hero's Dominion.
If you stole it, then it's not yours. Fuck you.
The thief would have you believe he pilfered the bauble from the shop and then dropped it in the midst of his escape. He's been looking for it ever since. He grabs for it and tries to wrench it off Laddie's throat. You've no choice but to fight to defend your ally. And fight.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be a tough one. I forgot that move was 3 random dice rolls.
You look down at the thief, splayed flat on the ground, and say a few words of admonishment. If you take anything away from this, let it be that you should stop plying the pilfering trade. The brigand seems to regret what he's done and cries back, "Please listen. I want to return the stolen necklace to the shop I took it from."
Yeah, I don't believe you. No, we'll do it.
Moneyed words alone will not let you trust this wayward larcener. You choose not to hand over the necklace. However, the thief does not give up. Practically bawling at this point, he makes a tear-filled appeal. "I just want to make up for the wrongs I've done."
No, we'll hand it over. Oh, it's not going to give me the choice, is it? Yeah, it's just repeating the same option. Oh, okay, I suppose.
You believe the thief's tears of regret are genuine, so you take the simple necklace from Laddie and hand it over.
I mean, I don't believe it's genuine. But you're not really giving me a choice on the matter.
The thief bows his head deeply and then heads off in the direction of Hero's Dominion.
Okay.
I happen to look down and spot a dingy charm on the ground. It seems the thief dropped it as he left. On the back of the charm is a child's "Daddy, do your best at work."
Oh.
Prone to dropping things, isn't he? You utter, somewhat flabbergasted, as you slip the charm into your pack.
Alright, I guess we'll be bumping into him again. Okay, I can actually go down this way. I assume there's going to be some sort of destination at the bottom, this bottom area. It's too kind of like weirdly placed on the landmass for there not to be like a temple or something. You were the one that was weak to wind. Not enough to kill it. Okay.
You did great.
Okay, no new skills or talents. Oh, a chest. Okay, so there was something here, just wasn't what I was expecting.
And fight.
How much did this do again? I don't remember. Let's give it a try. It was alright. May as well get rid of the middle guy. Yeah, maybe should have gotten rid of one of those instead. Ooh. Yeah, you know, I might use a potion just to top everyone up. Let's see. Items, what have we got? Oh yeah, we've got tons of these, Jesus. Okay. Oh yeah. I guess I was getting a load of those in drops after fights and just wasn't really noticing.
You make your way through the gorge its walls of russet stone towering above you. It too is littered with the bones of fallen warriors and their sand-blasted blades.
Wow, this island kind of sucks, really.
Unnerved,
Like a lot, huh?
you steal only brief glances at them as you charge ahead. But you notice Laddie regards them with a certain sadness. No one says a word for quite some time. Isn't that the Dominion? Lack chirps from its resting place in Laddie's hood, breaking the silence. Indeed, the gorge gives way to a large basin, at the center of which presumably lies Hero's Dominion. Laddie wipes the sweat from her brow and shuffles toward a nearby rock to sit down. Stop! That's a monster, you shout. Too late to prevent it from attacking poor Laddie.
Hello.
In one swift blow, a wild-eyed boy strikes the monster down. You all right? He barks, turning to Laddie.
Oh. Interesting.
It seems the enemy was not alone. More of them appear behind you, closing in fast.
Okay, so Maiden's a ceremonial title. It's not necessarily like a... Doesn't need to be like a lady that is like... It's not female specific. Like a guy can be a maiden as well.
A man's voice
Ooh.
emerges from the helmet and suit of armor before you. Those worthy of being maiden must never let their guard down, Lavia, it chides.
Lavia? Oh, okay. Is it going to turn out it's not actually a boy? Like, is Lavia like shorthand for Olivia?
I know, Gladio. I know, the boy grimaces. What luck. It appears you bumped into the Crimson Maiden completely by chance. Which would make this Gladio fellow, in all the armor, the Crimson Attendant.
Jeez, what makes you think that?
This is all terribly convenient.
I've got to thank him first.
Thank the duo for saving Laddie, and explain that you will have need of the Maiden's relic, if they'd be so kind as to lend it to you. The Crimson Maiden appears startled by your sudden request. Apologies, but we're in a hurry, he says curtly. Apparently, a foul beast the Dominion uses for blood sport has escaped, and it has fallen to the Crimson Maiden to recapture it. Unwilling to let these two out of your sight after such a fortuitous meeting, you agree to help them track the beast down.
Yeah, I don't know if that's actually a boy or if it's going to turn out to be a girl. I guess we'll see. But let's take a look at skills. Okay, fire. Deal attack plus 20 damage if roll is 5 or greater. So what happens if you fail? Does it just do nothing? I assume if it does that much damage, then yeah, it would do nothing. All enemies, and then a single target attack as well. Okay, now what about you, Gladio? Defense up, defense down on enemies, and provoke. Okay, that makes sense. Deals attack plus 20, fire damage, and then fire down. Okay. What about your passives? Higher crit chance, decrease water damage. 4 HP after combat ends, and isn't that basically what the other attendant had as well? How are you doing equipment wise? Really? Plus 6 attack for the weapon and that's it? Okay, what are you low on speed? So... And you're low on defense. I think, let's take a look. What are these two on? Actually, so not actually that low on defense then. Yeah, let's go with attack.
The well-to-do looking old man who challenged you to a game. I won't let you slide by with half-baked luck, says the old man.
Not this time.
The old man's offer, and hurry on your way.
Alright.
The Bizarre Rock transformed into a Fear Rock. The only way out of this fight is through it.
Alright, these rocks aren't so bad because Baron has that.
You win.
This move. And suddenly the 50 defense isn't too bad if you can just ignore it with an attack. What do we get for them? That's it? Okay. Okay, before we go hunting down this monster, I want to take a look at the town itself. See if there's any new gear we can buy. Hey.
This must be a stela of the Isle's guardian spirit.
Yeah, we saw that one before when we were in Latty's weird, like, world thing. Let's have a look. Ah, okay. Alright, let's just do them all one at a time.
To hear this man tell it, the last maiden was a proper hero of war. Compared to her, well, he trails off as a heavy sigh of disapproval forces its way out of him. The woman's eyes
Oh, you look cool.
as she scribbles something in her notebook. She who controls the information controls the fight, she says, before asking how powerful you are.
You know, let's see what the excuse is for why we don't have to pay for the inn.
Challenges you to an arm wrestling match in lieu of any greeting. You handily defeat her. She then informs you that strong warriors such as yourself get to rent rooms free of charge. You and your party can stay however often you'd like. As you walk away, you're fairly certain you hear her bitterly that she's yet to win a single match, and that her business is doomed.
I love the dumbass excuses they have to come up with for why you don't have to pay for the inns.
I'm gonna apprentice with the attendant, the man boasts. He drops to the ground and manages a mere 5 push-ups before collapsing in exhaustion.
Okay. Anything new at the item shop? Nothing's jumping out at me. No, I think it's the same usual things that were in the last town. Right, what do you have? Definitely some new stuff. Oh god, that's 8k. Yeah, fuck it, why not? It's such a big increase to his stats. There's no reason not to. It's not like I'm spending money on anything else at the minute anyway, so it's not that big of a loss,
You
really.
stepped on my foot, the man says, squaring up to you mere inches from your face. You have no memory of stepping on anything even vaguely foot-like. You apologize profusely, hoping to avoid any trouble. Aw, we were supposed to duke it out, he says, clearly disappointed.
Accessory shop. I wonder if that thief's there. Yeah, there we go.
Upon entering the shop, Laddie looks surprised and points at something. Following her gesture, you spy the familiar sight of the simple necklace. The owner explains that this necklace had been stolen, but then, wonder of wonders, the very miscreant who made off with it later returned it himself. Suddenly, from the back of the shop, said miscreant shows himself.
Okay.
The one-time thief bows his head self-consciously. Evidently, the owner took a shine to the honest thief and offered him a job working in the shop.
Okay, so he was being
You remove
honest about
the
it.
charm from your pack and hand it to the man. Taking it in hand, he is so overcome with joy that he begins to weep. As it turns out, the charm was a gift from his beloved child. He had been searching for it all this time. He grips the cherished charm tightly, explaining, "I only ever stole to put food on the table for my child." The shop owner proffers something to you, calling it a thank you for helping him meet a man with such an honest heart.
Gemstone ring. Ooh, one extra gem at the start. It's not really worth the trade-off for the stats, really, is it? Lost and found. Okay. Oh, is there gonna be trophies tied to the side quests this time? Did I get one for the lady in the perfume? I don't think I did. Because that kind of resulted in her dying, so...
Folks around here will use any excuse to start a fight, the woman warns you. You can't help but notice the glint of a knife in her belt. Apparently, battles with captured monsters in the arena are quite the spectacle. There is one ferocious beast, she explains, that has vanquished every warrior to have challenged it.
Okay, so that's the one we're gonna have to go fight, isn't it?
The man stands stock still, silently praying over those whose lives were lost in the arena this day.
Anything at the shrine?
The maiden shrine yet stands, though you think it looks rather forlorn. Clearly, it has been neglected in favor of the arena.
Okay. Alright, game parlor, let's do it. Let's play it. Add skills. No, I don't want to hear the rules. Add skills. So this is going to be the same rule set as the first game, it's just they changed what skills certain cards have, because it's different monsters. So they all come with different skills. Some of them are different, not all of them are. Okay, so we're going second. Okay, 6 or 3 would be nice. God damn it. Okay, I feel like giving up the 5 would be risky, but yeah, okay. So if this is anything like the first game, we'll need to play a game in each of the game parlors in order to get the flip side story for the game's master. And there's going to be a reward for winning in each of them as well. Oh, god damn it. Okay. This isn't a great start. Well, at the very least I can get a 1, 2, 3. Or a 2, 3, 4, that would make more sense. But I will go with double 8s. Discard the... Okay. Well, I've got to get rid of one of his. Damn, yeah, that's a good hand. See, anything or nothing. Yeah. Take another turn. Jeez, okay. Is that instant or does it wait until... Yeah, it's just instant. You don't have to loop back around until your next turn and then you get 2. God, that's really good actually. Okay, pick the guy in red. Motherfucker. He's gonna use it on me, isn't he? Oh no. Well, I can't do anything. I gotta get really lucky on this one. Pair of threes. Yeah. How many points does the guy in red have? I think he's just managed to beat me, I'm not sure. Why would you get rid of... Damn it. By how much? Oh god, yeah, 7 points. Oh, jeez. Okay.
Don't let it get you down. Come play again, says the boy, waving.
Okay, let's do that again. Okay, we got a new rule set, but we're gonna go with the second one for now. I want to win once with each rule set, because I think, I'm not sure, but I think there's a trophy with for each individual rule set for winning. God damn it, are you fucking kidding? Oh, is there going to be another red guy? Just sweeps the whole thing. Right, keep onto the card that lets me delete another person's hand. Not hand, set. Okay, so he's resting. I'm not. Okay, give me an 8. Give me an 8. Go on. Guess not. Ooh, is it worth taking the 4 rather than the straight? In order to screw over the guy in red. Yeah, let's do it. I'd have gone with the 3 threes. Because then it would have activated the skill. I really want an 8. Okay, he's going to discard the 1, isn't he? Okay. I've just got to hope that this guy doesn't get anything that lets him use the... He doesn't, okay. Oh, let's see all. What's going to be the best to get rid of? I mean, if I get rid of the man in reds, it puts him back down to 0, but he's also not currently winning, so... Yeah, it's going to be the double 6, isn't it? Oh! Yeah, I forgot about that as well. Awesome. Yeah. I don't want somebody using the... getting the double 4s. Perfect. Yeah, it's worth more points, isn't it? It was either going to be points or making somebody rest. Oh, he's going to get triple... He could have had double 7 now. Oh, he's going to make me rest? No. Okay. I really don't understand the way that AI is programmed in this game sometimes. Six, 7, oh wait, 8, 7, 6. There we go. I don't think there's any hand you can make that can... beat me now. Hey, there we go.
Good job, the boy praises you, proffering a gift in commemoration of your first win with these rules.
Hey. You know what? Let's save. Go back to the menu and select those cards because I actually quite like the look of them. It's other, isn't it? Come on, game. It's weird you can't do this in the actual game itself, you have to come back out to the main menu. Yes. Okay, where haven't we been yet? Just the Colosseum? And the gate.
A gate stands tall before you, marred here and there by deep gouges and scratch marks. You reckon the monsters for the arena battles are kept within.
Is my webcam frozen? It has, hasn't it? Okay. Let's just... There we go. I wonder how long that's been like that. Alright, to the arena then.
The man eagerly awaits his turn in the ring. My quarrel is not with humans, he says gravely. You take that to mean he'll only be fighting monsters out there. We need the money. The kids have to eat, the woman says to herself, seeming ready to put her life on the line to win.
Okay.
No, no, I forgot my salve, the man yells in a panic. A sudden calm washes over him. Oh, wait, there was a merchant back in the vestibule. What an emotional ride this man's life must be. I'm not taking registrations now, the receptionist says flatly.
Okay. So we're just looking around the island for the monster then. Let's see, is there an actual card on the... There it is. Oh. It's a couple. Interesting. Well, I doubt it's going to be this one.
You find a beast lurking in the shadows of the valley. But it does not appear to be the one that the Crimson Maiden is searching for. It glares at you. Seems you're not getting out of this without a fight. Fight him.
Ooh, we all land critical hits. Okay then. You know what, let's give this one a try. Damn.
Your stance keeps slipping. Gladio hisses at Lavia as soon as the final blow's been struck. Sorry, Lavia shoots back and resumes scanning the area for monsters.
Umbral Goblin. Okay. Is it going to be a reptile dude or a weird leaf wolf?
You find a beast huddled in a small burrow in the rock wall, but it does not appear to be the one that the Crimson Maiden is searching for. Nevertheless, it is not happy to have an intruder in its home and attacks. The party readies for battle.
Okay. So this thing's got to be weak to fire, right? Oh, there's a few of them. You know what? Yeah, let's try this one.
Teamwork makes the dream.
Okay. 30 damage to all of them. You can heal yourself. Not quite to full, but most of the way there. And then you can heal him/her. Alright.
You find a beast and immediately raise your sword to it, but it does not so much as flinch. Upon further inspection, it looks like a falling rock or something has crushed the poor creature's life right out of it. It's dead, Lavia says flatly. Lack and Laddie suddenly exhale, hands pressed to their chests in relief. Gladio, sensing an imminent threat, tells everyone to be on their guard. The clanking of heavy chains precedes the appearance of a massive beast. Blood drips from the iron hammers clutched in its fists. The party grips their own weapons ever tighter, fighting their own looming sense of fear.
This is just going to be a boss version of one of these guys. I thought it was going to be something like a unique monster.
And fight.
Alright, he could actually do with healing himself. Not enough for the freeze. Ooh, that did nothing. That's more like it. God, I'm not doing very good with the rolls on this one. You heal him. Yeah, let's give it a try. Nice. That was a lot of damage, holy shit. Okay, this should be enough.
The maiden launches one last attack as his attendant strikes the beast with the pommel of his sword. At last, the feral fiend falls silent. Lack and Laddie break out into a round of applause, which Lavia greets with a smile and a playful swipe of his nose. We're not done, Gladio reminds the party. He binds the beast in chains, hoists it up with one hand, and carries it back toward the Dominion. You never did get to ask about the maiden's relic in the end. You follow them back to Hero's Dominion in hopes of rectifying that oversight.
Okay. Oh. 2 extra attack, 1 extra speed. Okay, let's rest up because that actually took a big old chunk of health off us.
Heroes' Dominion. A place so renowned, stories of it reached you across the vast sea. The cries of powerful warriors pierce the air, though it's impossible to tell if they're cries of joy or pain. Levia informs you that the Dominion attracts all manner of warriors who long to prove their strength in battle. There are even more than usual, he says, thanks to the tournament that's due to begin soon. The party makes their way to the arena, eager to return the captured monster to its cage.
Okay, first thing first, rest up. Over to this one? I guess not.
Gladio drops the monster in front of the reception desk with a wet, meaty thud. I felled it, Levia says without hesitation. I expected nothing less, the man behind the desk says with a hearty laugh. It quickly becomes clear, however, that this compliment was intended for Gladio. Levia chafes, but at least the beast has been returned. The party makes its way back out of the arena.
Okay.
What's a runt like you come to the arena for? The warriors sneer in Levia's direction. His blood clearly boiling. Levia spins around on a heel and raises his fist. Say that one more time, he shouts. Fists raised and eyes locked. You can see they'll come to blows any second now. You reckon Levia's no match for his opponent and decide to intervene on his behalf.
Okay. Fight's about to break out, what do we do? Throw a punch? Looking to Latty's not going to do anything. Draw his attention or throw a punch? I have a feeling if I throw a punch, Livia's going to get annoyed at us. I was trying to tease out what it was saying there.
You call out, and the warrior throws a flurry of fists your way. Thankfully, you anticipated this would happen and managed to dodge them cleanly.
Looking at Lack's not going to do anything. Punch like your life depends on it. I'll continue drawing the warrior away. I'm trying to see what it... You punch like you've never punched before. Punch. Let's go. Let's do this one.
You punch like you've never punched before.
Oh.
Punch after punch connects with the warrior's arms as he effortlessly deflects each one and hits you with a punch of his own.
Should have just kept dodging.
Enough, Gladio barks by way of intervention. Despite picking the fight in the first place, the warriors show no interest in going up against the attendant. They slink off, complaining bitterly as they do so. By all accounts, Levia endures rather crude treatment, despite being a maiden. You snap out of your thoughts when Gladio turns and thanks you for aiding in the monster's capture. He tells Levia to show you to the inn, as if to suggest everyone could use a rest after that fight, and takes his leave.
So it's gonna make me rest at the inn anyway. I didn't actually see what the accessory shop sells. Well, like we triggered the event, but we didn't actually go in to take a look. It's that one's new. Increased crit hit chance. Huh. Costs 3k. Yeah, it's. There's a lot of really good stuff in this that's very expensive.
You arrive at the inn, eager to rest. You mention to Livia once more what brings you to the West Isle. You speak of the current state of Omega Isle, and how the Maiden's relics are key to saving the island. Livia hears your tale in full, only to politely decline your entreaty. He pauses for a moment, lost in thought. I'm not the Maiden, he confesses rather abruptly.
Okay. Then why do you have the relic?
Black helpfully explains that since Livia is not an official Maiden, his relic is no more than an ordinary weapon, and therefore of no help to Laddie.
How do you become an official maiden?
He explains that while it's true he was born into a long line of maidens, he has not been recognized as the Maiden on account of being a man.
Okay.
That his mother, the previous Maiden, fell in battle, and he has simply been named as Maiden to fill the role in the interim. Livia, his confession complete, bids farewell, and walks off. Clearly, the Maiden's circumstances are as varied as the islands on which they live.
Our Crimson ally sought power to secure her legacy. Okay, so... Okay, that's kind of like spoiling it a little bit. So, Livia is going to be the lady then. And they're trying to hide that because if they do, it means she doesn't have to do the sacrifice.
Laddie sits in the chair, head bobbing in a desperate, if futile, struggle against sleep. She's no doubt exhausted from all the fighting.
Okay, what about luck?
Black floats in the air, its mouth gently opening and closing. You presume it to be asleep.
That's fucking weird.
You lift your hands close to its ear and clap once, with vigor. Explosions! Help! We're all gonna die! It shrieks, shooting even further into the air. Everyone is plainly spent from a day of fighting. The time has come for rest. Enter the Maiden's match with me, Livia blurts out nonsensically, barreling into your room.
What's the Maiden's match?
It's a special tournament, and it starts soon, Livia explains breathlessly. As it happens, they'll select the next Maiden from the winners. A fitting festival for the might-obsessed hero's dominion, you think. But will they actually recognize Livia as the next Maiden if he wins?
And to what exactly?
Says he simply wants to win the tournament and gaze smugly at all the people who've called him weak over the years. You think back on how the citizens of the Dominion treat Livia. How hard he works at a dangerous occupation, yet receives no respect for it. You can hear the pain of it in his voice every time he speaks. All right, it's a deal, you say. Besides, fighting people from all sorts of different places sounds like fun. When does it, you begin? But Livia cuts you off with an excited, tomorrow.
I wonder if there's anything on that desk I could have examined.
The sun is dazzling on this, the morning of the tournament. The clanking of blades echoes all around you. Let's get to reception quick, Lavia chirps as he joins you en route to the arena.
Okay. Oh, pardon me. Alright, let's save, because it's been a second since we've done so. Oh, I need to sneeze. Oh, pardon me.
Here to pick up a few scars? The man behind the desk asks with a smirk. He begins explaining the rules of the Maiden's match. Participants register in pairs, taking on the roles of maiden and attendant as they fight. Once you're registered, you can go wait in the vestibule, the man explains, gesturing at the far door.
Okay, so if it's in pairs, then it means someone's sitting this out. I assume Lati.
What do you think you're doing? The Crimson attendant's voice stops you in your tracks. Let's go, Lavia says as he runs through the door, perhaps presuming that Gladio has no business dictating what he can and cannot enter. Immature brat, Gladio sighs, his helmet hiding his expression from view. Even so, you detect a note of worry rather than fury in his voice.
Okay. Just check my... Okay, it's still got the three of us.
I'll go easy on you, the woman says, brimming with confidence. The man's knees knock together. You reach out to him, concerned. Don't mind me. This is all excitement, he barks, sweating. Laddie seems to be in good spirits. You imagine she'd say, this ought to be fun. You know we're going to fight, don't you? You ask. Laddie turns pale. Clearly, she misunderstood what kind of tournament this was. We'll show 'em all, Lavia shouts, psyching himself up for the fight. The ringleader's voice echoes off the stone walls of the lobby. Onward to battle.
Oh, I thought I was going to be able to talk to that other guy. Oh, I still can. Good. I assume you're the store that was mentioned? Yeah. What do you sell? Just potions and things? Yeah, it's just a regular item shop. Okay. Right, let's do this. So is it just going to let us do 3 characters in the fight? Oh god, sorry. On the west side we have some warriors from another land, eager to earn the title of Maiden. On the east side, a band of warriors from with our weak Maiden, the pride of the isle and its centre. There'll be no aid for you if you get hurt, mind.
Alright, time to show these jerks what you can do.
They did say it was pairs, but for some reason it's just letting us do 3 people in this. Okay, take her out first.
Excellent.
Cool. She had the lowest amount of health and the lowest defense, so it made the most sense to get rid of her first. Okay, you need to heal. And then you need to heal him. I could do with an improved heal on somebody. Yeah, let's try it. much damage, holy shit. Now, is it going to fully heal me after the end of each fight? You'd hope so. Generate 2 gems. Unbelievable! Our weak maiden's troop has done it. How long will fortune smile upon them, I wonder? I don't know why certain lines in this aren't like narrated. Let's take a look. It does fully heal us after each one. Okay, perfect.
Levia wipes the sweat from his brow as you approach. You greet him, and he leaps back with a yelp. Don't sneak up on me like that, he snaps, with no small amount of embarrassment. Ah, youth. Awkward youth.
The second round is about to begin. All warriors to the battlefield. Okay, so talking to Levia is what's triggering that.
Can hardly contain her excitement at having won. You can tell because she's looking up at the sky, furiously punching the air above her head.
Oh, that is great.
My quarrel is not with you, the man says coolly, his trembling knees betraying his outwardly calm demeanor.
What about confident woman?
You're not the worst I've fought, the woman says, still exuding confidence.
Alright, round 2. On the west side, our very own battle-tested soldiers. Victory is all but assured, they tell us. On the east side, the lucky victors of the previous match, starring our very own maiden. There's still time to run, you know. Prove your worth to the Crimson Spirit. Let the second battle begin.
Show 'em what you got.
Okay, these ones might actually be tough. Take her out. God damn it. Okay, fuck.
Magnificent.
You know, let's see if we can just take you out. Perfect.
Magnificent.
Okay, I actually want to see if I can take out the guy on the right first. So let's... heal. Who needs it the most? You're 11 down, you're 13 down. Shit. Okay, so it just misses if you don't get the roll. Ooh. Okay, so we desperately need to heal him then. That's more like it. Okay, good. He's just re-upping his stuff. You know what? It'd be actually better if he just used one of them. I want to save the gems. Okay, I couldn't remember if this was 2 or 3 gems. Alright, there we go. Nice. Okay, I'm definitely appreciating that they made this game harder than the first one was. The Weak Maiden's team continues their steady advance. Surely their luck has run out by now. Okay, checking in with people. Yeah, fully healed. You know what, let's just save. Let's do a safety save. Alright, what about you?
Man hangs his head in shame, having lost in battle. For reasons beyond your understanding, his legs are still shaking.
Alright, confident woman.
I went easy on you, the woman seethes, remaining strong even in defeat.
Okay.
Buckle up, Buttercup. Lack shouts for some reason at Laddie, who is drained from the consecutive battles. If we win this next fight, that's it, Lavia says in quiet awe. Let's wipe those smug looks off everyone's faces, you say by way of encouragement. Yeah, Lavia shouts in response.
The final round is about to begin. All warriors to the
The
battlefield.
ringleader announces the final battle. There's no turning back now.
Okay, what are the odds of the final battle being against Gladio? Yeah, let's do it.
Who else should be waiting for you in the final round but the Crimson Attendant?
Of course.
Despite this being a team event, he's battled his way to the final round all by himself. Do your worst, he bellows, striking an intimidating pose. Don't need to tell me twice, Lavia barks back, gripping his sword for dear life and fixing his gaze upon his attendant.
Prove your worth to the Crimson Spirit. Let the final battle begin. Alright, what are we looking at here? "18 defense. Decrease fire damage dealt to... So. Okay. He had resistance to fire anyway, didn't he? I assume he's going to be weak to water, so... Okay. What's going to be best here? Generate gems? Yeah, let's try it. Not weak to it, okay. So this is the bisecting blade's going to be the thing I need to use to beat him. How much damage was that? Fuck ton. Right, you use that. So that did 20. Okay. it does so much fucking damage. Holy shit. Nice.
Excellent.
Crit on that one. Oh.
The powerful attendant bears down with all his might, but Levia holds firm. As the pair struggle, a section of the arena wall suddenly blows apart.
Oh.
A familiar beast emerges from the dust and the rubble. One you swear you saw in chains but a day ago. Whipped into a frenzy, the beast whirls a hammer over its head and charges you.
Okay. Battle interrupted. Let's see. Okay, you do the bisecting blade. It's a lot of damage. Defense down. You keep generating gems. Latty can heal. You keep doing the bisect. Or trying to do it. I want a defense down on it. Oh my god, come on. Okay, come on game. There we go. That only applies to one character. And it only applies to himself, so... Oh my god, I'm getting really unlucky with these rolls. Okay, you need to heal. You need to heal everyone. Good, good, good. I like those numbers. And a crit.
Excellent.
Hey, right at the end we get it. Oh, we didn't actually kill it either.
It has been a brutal struggle. The beast's knees buckle ever so briefly. There's your opening. Time for our special attack. The Crimson Maiden and his attendant bellow in unison.
Huh, wow, the game just gives you that one for free, doesn't it?
The Crimson Maiden and his stalwart attendants attack, slays the beast. Gladio at last acknowledges the strength hidden within Levia and recognizes him as an equal. Use that strength to fulfill your destiny, Gladio says with the air of a proud father seeing his own son off on an adventure.
Damn, he looks cool.
Levia prepares to address the raucous crowd. He places a hand to his chest, gathers himself for a moment, and begins his speech. He tells of his history with Gladio, who trained him ever since he was a young boy and raised him in place of his departed mother. Gladio taught him the true meaning of strength, so he could one day fulfill the maiden's destiny. He molded Levia into a strong young man from an immature boy. And now that his strength has been universally recognized, Levia tells the crowd it is time to reveal a truth that he has kept well hidden. Levia is in fact a woman.
Okay.
And thus the rightful successor to the Crimson Maiden.
Yeah, could have seen that one coming. Not really a twist. Kind of disappointing that it wasn't like a
swear to protect
breaking the gender norms kind of thing.
Its rightful maiden.
Would have been interesting if it had been like a
to the sky. It begins to shine with a light to rival the sun overhead. Levia, the Crimson Maiden by name and birthright, basks in the glory her people rain down upon her. Her small frame shows no sign of buckling under the immense responsibility that is now upon her. At last, she looks ready.
Ready to sacrifice yourself.
Levia is mobbed by a heaving crowd of admirers, seeing as they're bound to keep her busy for some time, and surmising that there will be other opportunities to borrow the relic. You decide to depart Hero's Dominion.
Levia was removed from the party, lack eligible. Okay. And again, I assume we've been fully healed, but let's double check before we go. Yeah. Just gotta make sure, just in case. You don't want to step outside and run into a hard fight when you're already messed up. Although I don't think I was too bad off at the end of that fight.
The Dominion farewell, as the sun dyes the sky a deep red, in celebration of the Maiden's victory.
Where do you think you're going without saying goodbye?
The voice belongs to none other than the Crimson Maiden herself, guardian of the West Isle.
Kinda liked your other clothes better.
She approaches you, serene and calm as can be. Who is this person? Was the belligerence and bravado all an act? A lie? Is there a difference? Acknowledging your friendship forged in the crucible of battle, she hands the Maiden's relic to Laddie, on the condition that should she become a maiden, Laddie must visit the Dominion and return the relic.
If I can do it, you can do it. Go get him, Laddie.
Levia gives a hearty wave as you push off from shore. Why would the Crimson Maiden, whose biggest wish has just come true, be crying? No, no, no. Her face must be catching the light of the setting sun. Yes, that's why her eyes look so red.
Sure. Okay, we're not going back into... I thought they'd be joining us and going to Lattie's... like, mind world place. Huh. Is the chapter done already? I was expecting way more than that, considering how long the last one was. Yeah, I definitely prefer like the first costume. I am surprised. I'm actually surprised by that. She challenged all comers with admirable bravery. It's possible to customize the appearance of certain game elements such as the avatar. Yeah, we know. Yeah, we know. Ooh. Oh, the better heals a double move. Okay.
Laddie gazes out at the horizon from the deck of the ship as it rolls over the waves.
That means I can give both of them that heal.
The Crimson Maiden became a maiden in the end. You reckon Laddie's thinking about that journey and what it means for her. Laddie takes out her book and scribbles something inside, which she then shows to you.
Let's go back to Omega Village.
Apparently, Laddie's mother was the previous maiden of the village. There might be some clues as to how to become a maiden in the her proposal.
Didn't mean to skip past that.
As her handwriting is small, you nod firmly and cut the rudder in the direction of Omega Isle.
Return to Omega Isle.
Lack claps you on the shoulder, saying, "You could do with a rest here and there yourself." It then starts to chant some kind of spell.
Hither, thither, there, here, this away, and that.
Lack casts a spell on the ship, and suddenly, the sails unfurl and the wheel begins to turn without any assistance. It explains that your ship can now travel to any island you've already visited on its own. You've never seen Lack look so smug with itself, and that's saying something.
You can now freely move to any island you have already visited when docked at an island pier. Ah. So remain here for now. So I want to take a look at some stuff. Skills, okay. Oh, it's 5 gems for the big heal, but it is on all allies. Which sounds like it's going to be worth it. What am I using from hers? Like everything, aren't I? Yeah, I don't want to replace any of hers except maybe Magic Strike. Okay, definitely replace his self-heal with the double heal. Yeah, let's leave it as that for now. Actually, let's save. What does this count as? Intermission? Okay, yeah, it does.
A man bumps shoulders with you as he attempts to rush past. "I'm so sorry. I'm late for my match," he exclaims, completely flustered.
I didn't think we'd be able to get events on, like, tiles that have specific functions, like the pier.
He hurriedly explains that he's on his way to the arena where the strongest in the realm are gathering to compete. "If you think you stand a chance, why don't you join the tournament?" he suggests, then dashes off.
Was I supposed to get that one earlier? Or is he referencing like there's an actual thing that I can do back at the arena now? Let's go back and take a look. Oh yeah, we can talk to these again.
A number of warriors are gathered around the Crimson Maiden. Oh, I just bit my tongue. Sorry. A number of warriors are gathered around the Crimson Maiden. They all seem to be speaking about problems in the Dominion.
The narrator just... okay. He did that once before, didn't he? He messed up a line and started it again.
The Crimson Attendant watches over his charge wordlessly, but pride lurks in his expression.
Okay, same. Okay, same again. And the shrine hasn't changed. Alright, let's take a look at the arena, see if there is actually a tournament that I can do.
Welcome, warriors. Have you come to end?
Ah.
The man asks. He elaborates that anyone is welcome to join the festive event, and the winner of 3 matches will receive an extravagant prize.
Champion of the Sea. That +3 attack, +6 armor, and what looks like +7 speed? That can't be right, can it? Might be.
The man further advises you that only those with the utmost confidence in their strength should enter. You had better steel yourself for some tough competition before signing up. Realizing that you have more important matters to deal with, you politely refuse.
Let's save and then enter and take a look. I have a feeling it's going to be way above my current level. But it's worth taking a look anyway, just to be sure. Yeah, let's give it a try.
Add your names to the roster. The receptionist gives you a stout nod and opens the doors to the arena.
First battle, hot-blooded housewife. Oh, we're just going into it straight from here. Okay.
Don't hold back.
Now the question is, are they going to heal us after each of these or not? Cool. Let's drop her attack a bit. $30 damage. What the fuck? Oh, we are not ready for this. Holy shit. Yeah, this isn't going to be enough healing. If he gets hit again, he's dead. It's ×2 damage. Ooh. Oh, housewife hits like a fucking freight train. Yeah, I'm not winning this one. What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? Okay, yeah, we're not winning this one. Oh, we're doomed. Okay. Yeah, there's no point in even like trying to do this properly. Just gotta wait for us to kill her. Wait for her to kill us. Holy shit. And she's the first of 3 fights. Like, what the fuck are the other 2 gonna be?
Ouch.
Never stood a chance. God damn.
You lost. A fine effort, the receptionist remarks as he hands you a consolation prize. Why don't you come back when you're a little stronger?
I'll take a consolation prize, thank you. God damn. Alright, we're done. Here. Alright, Omega Isle. Is this going to trigger the next chapter, or is this going to be purely intermission stuff? Let's have a look. We'll find where the trigger for the next chapter is and then call it there for tonight.
You find yourselves back in the village Laddie had hitherto refused to return to. Her grip on the Crimson Maiden's relic tightens. Her face is taut and determined. Laddie sets foot in the village, not even bothering to have Lack transform her face with its shape-shifting magic. So, you've returned, a woman says with no small amount of displeasure. What a warm welcome. The woman heads out of view towards the center of town, as if fleeing from Laddie's very presence. You know that Laddie, for her part, wants to become a maiden so she can protect these people. You just hope you can get that message through to them.
Convince the people of Omega Village to formally recognize Laddie. While we're here, let's have a double check of this shop. The armor. Okay, so the sword was straight up worse, and then, yeah, okay. Do I have any golden nuggets to sell? Let's have a look. No, I don't. Alright.
You begin introducing Laddie, only to be rudely interrupted. I'm busy, the old man snaps. You begin introducing Laddie, but the boy cuts you off. Look, I'm sorry, but you need to leave. The frankly heartless reception Laddie receives begins to weigh on her. Her head hangs low. Her resolve from earlier, now a distant memory.
Oh.
Whatever happened here? It's frayed her relations with the village, even more than you thought. You all decide it's best to leave the villagers alone for the time being, and instead search for her mother's personal effects.
I want to try talking to them anyway.
She'd like to play with Laddie, but she simply glares at you and says, "Mom told me not to talk to you."
And you were the lady from before?
Explaining Laddie's plight to the woman, but she doesn't even acknowledge your existence.
Wow. Alright, Maya.
Laddie leads you to her home, which turns out to be the home of Mayor Greeth. You always considered yourself close with Greeth, and yet you had no idea he had a daughter.
I did say before that I thought their courts looked very similar.
Silent house. Greeth must be out. Laddie enters what is ostensibly her home, with the soft, suspicious movements of a thief.
What are the personal effects of Laddie's late mother? Where? It's got to be in his room.
You step into Greeth's room. Sunbeams from the window play across an immaculately organized desk and tidy bookshelf. You all search for her mother's effects, doing your best not to disturb anything. Laddie tugs insistently at your sleeve. Has she found something? You turn to her. She holds in her hands a weathered book. It looks rather like the one she's been making a picture book out of. This is it. You both might finally learn something definitive about her mother. You gently open the cover.
And interrupted by Dad?
What
There we go.
here? The master of the house appears, his eyes wild with suspicion, darting between you and Laddie. You insist that you can explain, if he'd just give you a chance.
I'll hand that diary immediately. Get out of this. Get out of my house. Get out of this village. Again, I don't know why they don't like have the narrative voice for some of these.
He roars, clearly not willing to give you that chance. His face contorts with demonic fury, tears forming in her eyes at the sudden and incomprehensible rage emanating from the man. Laddie runs out of the room. You give chase, not sparing a single moment to contemplate what could possibly cause someone as kind as Grief to become such a monster.
The relic is reacting to Lattie's resolve. Wow, that was an upgrade. Holy shit. It was +4 attack +3 defense before, now it's... God damn. 4 extra attack, 1 extra defense and 2 speed. I steeled myself to return home where my father's roars filled the halls.
Thus far, you have woven a tale of adventure that has incorporated yarns from the maidens of the South and West Isles. According to your navigation map, there ought to be islands home to maidens in the northern and eastern regions of the ocean as well. You've likely grown quite accustomed to seafaring. From this point onward, you can sail the ocean as you see fit.
Oh, am I gonna have my choice between the two?
Be wary. One never knows what might happen out on the high seas.
Okay, I'm gonna have my choice. So let's save, and then we'll reveal the last sections of this area. We have all of these ones. Where's my entryway into it? That tile there. And all of these ones are now accessible. So what is this one then?
The rush of the wind filling your senses, you open up the navigation map to check your current position and heading. In the eastern region of the sea, there is supposed to be an island with a maiden living on it.
Okay, I'm guessing this is going to explain why I don't have a choice on which direction I go.
However, the present look of the skies makes it clear that those waters will soon be battered by a storm. You could still turn back now if you so choose.
Oh.
You change the ship's course to steer well clear of the storm.
Oh, I might still actually have the choice then. Yeah, that card's still glowing. Alright, let's reveal all of these ones then. I think that said it was a salve. I think I saw the word salve. So let's catch it. There we go. Nice.
I don't know what it is, but there's just something so relaxing about the sound of waves, isn't there?
Alright, what have we got? Ooh. Have we seen that third one before? I don't think we have. Right, let's get rid of you first. Ah, oh, damn it. Oh my god. I didn't notice. Oh my god.
It looks like your adventure ends here.
Oh, why did I not think to look at my HP after losing in the arena? I just assumed it'd be put back to full health. Right, that's the most recent save. Alright. I just assumed, I don't know why, I just thought we'd be back to full health after... Okay. Okay, I think I can rest in my house. Yeah, there's no inn in the town, so... Yes. What a stupid death. What an absolutely stupid death that I took there. After checking it after each of the story events in the arena as well. And I lost my fucking superior self. God damn it.
Fight him off.
Right, the rematch. Okay. So if that's the level of the enemies we're going to be seeing around in these waters, it's not going to be too bad. Hey, little gold nugget. Times 2 XP.
Fight.
And Thunderbolt, and we're done. How far are we off leveling up actually? Because I don't think we really got that many levels during that chapter. 2300, 1200, and Lack's pretty close.
I don't know what it is, but there's just something so relaxing about the sound of waves, isn't there? I love it.
Oh, I didn't see what that was. Let's just try catching it then. Oh, cool fish. Nice.
And
Yeah, it does damage to all. Okay, we've hit land. Chest floats in the water. Yep, let's grab it. Ah, damn it.
and fight.
If I charge, can I get a... Will this be enough to kill? I don't think it will be, will it? Oh, it is. Nice. Nice, I'll take another bellwether. Not that we've really had many opportunities to use it so far.
Oh, excuse me. You can't. And
Let's have you attack him. And you check out the last one. No, still no level up for Lack. Oh. So that's the Northern Isle. Is this the one that's going to trigger the actual chapter? Yeah, it is.
after a long voyage, you happen upon the North Isle. On the North Isle, you will hear the tale of a maiden in white.
Okay, so that's not.
The decision is in your hands. There are other islands waiting to be explored.
Okay, so if we go to this one, is this going to be like the South Isle where there was like a little like landmass that we could explore? Not so little? What the hell? Is this even the same island? Or is this going to be like a little section of it that's like cut off from the rest? Not quite enough to kill, but at least it's healing itself and not actually dealing any damage to me. We can just hit the damn thing. There we go. Hey. Cool. So that's a full heal resurrection. You come across an open air stall, raising good spot here. Yes. Okay. 6 would be nice. Ah, damn it. She's buying at wholesale. Well, I may as well sell that nugget that I got. Right, the regular resurrections bring back at 50%. That's a full. Okay. Right, so we just have access to this little section of the island. Fair enough. Right, finish revealing all of this. How much is there? Quite a bit, actually. Okay. Hey, back to fishing again. It's a coin toss either way, isn't it?
The rod whips about wildly. If there's anything on the hook, it moves like no fish you've ever seen. Then something shiny bobs up to the surface. A medicine bottle.
Yeah, screw it. I'll take free medicine.
Scrunches up her face in confusion and hands it to you. Nope, nope.
Oh. You're new? What are you in the middle? Skeleton dudes we've seen before, but let's get rid of you first. I don't know what you are.
Magnificent.
Okay, that wasn't too much damage. Hey, shipwreck.
You discover a shipwreck. You climb aboard and begin searching for anything useful.
Nice.
When you return to your vessel, the shipwreck sinks silently into the sea. And
Alright, let's take out the skeleton guy first and see what this weird white ghost thing does in a fight. Let's see. Are you weak to lightning? No, you're not. I tried wind on it before, it didn't. Yeah. Not weak to that.
I don't know what it is.
Chest again. Yep, let's grab it. I wonder if it ever doesn't have monsters in it, or if that's just like a guarantee every time.
Fortune favors the bold.
You use Blizzard. And it's enough to kill. Perfect. Another bellwether. I might sell one of those because I've got more than I actually need at the minute. Shipwreck. Oh, it's not a shipwreck, it's a ship.
He stares at the fish and seaweed caught in his net and lets loose a peaked sigh. You inquire as to his frustration, and he replies, "I just can't net myself any sea grapes."
Sea grapes?
The forlorn fisher has evidently only had them once, but has never been able to forget their piquant flavor. He has since scoured seas the world over for them. He returns to his net, muttering to himself, "Oh, I just want some nice salty sea grapes."
Okay, I'll have to remember he's there because I'm sure I'm going to run into some at some point.
A fisherman aboard his boat is calling for help to go crab fishing. It's quite well known that fishing for crabs is a risky venture, but you'll be paid handsomely if we land our haul, the fisherman coaxes.
Sure, let's do it.
As soon as you agree to help, the fisherman instructs you. Pull up one of those nets, will you?
Okay. Tangle of seaweed. Spot crab leg. And it has holes cut into it. Okay, left.
Amongst a tangle of seaweed and fry, you spot a crab leg. A shell crab is caught in your net. The shell crab threatens you with a foam of bubbles from its mouth. It's ready for a fight.
Oh. You guys are a bit heartier than I was expecting. And not weak to lightning. Okay. Holy shit. Okay, fuck. Damn it, I'm one shot. She needs to heal. Okay, that's fine. Didn't actually do any damage. Oh, thank fuck. You generate gem. You kill them all. Alright, there we go.
Good work.
That's a lot of XP and gold. I'll take that.
You caught a big one. Impressed, the fisherman hands you your reward.
Nice. Okay. Alright, let's go rest up. Back in town, because Baron's still... Yeah, he's still super low. Might take a look at the item shop as well, actually. See if I can upgrade some of my 10 HP healing items to the larger ones. Yeah, he's got some. Okay, so let's sell and make some space first. I don't need 3 bellwethers. Let's get rid of the dispeller. It's not like I'm using that anywhere. Antidote. Latty has a move that heals it. Let's clear out one of these as well, just for the space. Did I actually sell the... Yeah, I did. Okay. And then buy... Yeah, let's get 3 of them. And rest up. Now let's save as well. It's got a fair bit of cash in my pocket now. Is that 10k? Yeah, 10k. I think that was an item. Nice. So that gets me back the one that I lost before.
Nope, nope. Ahoy! Magnificent.
Nice. How far is Baron off leveling up actually? 424, so not too far off. I'll take times 2 XP.
Good work.
Oh, pardon me. So was that all of them? I think it was. Yeah, okay. So that's everything revealed so far. So we have the choice of either going north and doing the maiden in white, or going east and doing the maiden in black. I'm surprised they actually gave us the choice. But what I'll do is I'll do a couple more fights just to level up Baron because he's so close. And then we'll call it for quits for tonight.
And
I think it should only take like 2 or 3 fights maybe.
fight him off.
Okay, these guys at this point are not really a threat at all, are they? There we go. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Is it finally time to replace Tri-Attack? Which is very good against enemies that have super high defense like the rocks. But how often am I really fighting those at the minute? Yeah, let's put it in for now. Give it a test, see how it does. And we will call it here for tonight then. So next time I play this, I'll be making a choice. Do we go north to the White Maiden or east to the Black Maiden? I assume they're both going to be equal difficulty, maybe? Who knows? But we'll find out next time. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Cheers. Bye now.